So who do I look at? Him?
Yeah, we're chatting naturally.
Cool.
It's like we're two buddies, you know.
Out for a beer.
Out for a burr. Are we ready? Tell me a little bit about Jonah Hawk. Heek.
Heek? Was that in the list? Jonah Hawk is a born-again Christian.
Okay. So what was he before? Not a Christian.
Raging drug addict.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pill addict.
And a baby daddy.
Apparently a baby daddy, yeah.
I mean, you are a bit of like the boyfriend, the rocker boyfriend.
He's just the boyfriend. There's
Yeah.
3 different storylines. Yeah.
But you know what's cool about him? Think about this. Every single time there's somebody jealous of him. So like Drew's all like, why are you hanging out with Becky?
True. With
And-
Grace, there was nobody jealous of me. I guess like
True.
Frankie was like jealous.
Yeah, Frankie was jealous.
Yeah.
And then also, who's jealous when you're with Frankie? Zig's jealous of you because you're hanging out with Maya.
Yeah, but no one was jealous of me hanging out with. I guess Winston, because Winston and Frankie were like
Yeah,
on the rocks still.
totally. So like it worked for you. You were a
Yeah.
you were a Degrassi heartthrob.
Really? Is that the official title?
I think so.
Oh, all right.
Welcome to the club. Oh, she's dying. Oh God. Okay. Oh yes, the audition. Had you auditioned for a character before?
No, actually, it was
Really?
my first audition.
Because most people like audition for the show 72 times before achieving success.
Oh, okay. So this was technically my second audition then, because I started with an agency, had an audition for a character named Chris that I think was originally
Chris.
I think he was written out.
Okay.
But I remember not getting it, and then the casting director emailing my agent and saying, we thought he was really good. We just don't know if he's right for a leading part yet. And then a week later, I got the audition for Jonah, and then I remember being very, very nerve-wracking because I was sitting in the waiting room, and everybody out there like looked exactly like me.
That's the worst.
And it was probably a 3-month waiting period.
What?
That I waited to hear back.
Really?
I was like, I did the first audition, call back like 2 weeks later, and then I was told I was first choice for the role, but it was a very, very long time until I heard back. Like I thought they had just forgotten about it. It was like a very long time because I wasn't in the first block, the first couple episodes of season 14.
Because you come in kind of halfway.
I came in.
No, 13.
14. I came in season 14. Yeah, and it was like episode 5 or 6 or something.
What's the context that you come in?
Becky needs a distraction because her brother just got sent to jail for
True.
that, and then I'm like the distraction. But I guess I was only supposed to be in for a couple episodes, like here and there, and then they ended up liking the character. So
They liked your work there.
apparently, yeah.
They liked your stellar work.
Yeah.
So you and Eric you guys were friends before the show.
Yeah.
I just learned this.
Yeah, that was actually like a very annoying thing to deal with, believe it or not, because Eric got on the show. It was so cool, and like it was the talk of the world in my high school, and people would always make the jokes like walk up to him and be like, "Oh my God, are you Eric from Degrassi?" Like knowing him, and he's just like, "Okay, come on." Like, so that happened, and then I remember like I had just switched to that school for my grade 10 year, so I've only known Eric like 4 or 5 years now, but like we're best friends, and I remember saying to him like, "Hey, like, how do you actually do that? How do you get like into professional acting?"
No
'Cause
way,
I had just done
really?
theater, and he said,
This is great story.
yeah, and he said you have to get an agent. I'm like, what, an agent? How the hell do you do that? So he sent me the email to his agency that he was with, and I looked into them and got signed with the agent, and then I got the audition like a couple months later.
Are you kidding? And then you booked it?
And then I booked it, but when I came back to school that year and everybody knew that I was on it now, the number one question was, so how does it feel to know that Eric got you a part on Degrassi?
Are they wrong?
But I would
got you the agent.
I would look at them and be like, how do you think this works? So that's like me right now.
Being like, yo, you wanna be on our show?
Walking into the writer's room and being like, guys, I got this friend. He has never
He's
really
a
acted
cool
before.
guy.
Not even with an agent, but give him a chance. Come on, me or him, give him a chance.
That is not. This story is nuts. Like legitimately, it was just like, yo, try to get an agent. You got when you got the part.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, you're the celibate guy. You have like, what sense did you make of these? Like, did
Well,
you
they told me it like pretty much right away.
so that you're like a reformed drug addict.
Well,
Born
I
again.
didn't find out the drug addict thing until like the read through when we
Yeah.
read the script, but they told me the X's meant like straight edge, like he just doesn't do this stuff. He doesn't drink, he doesn't do drugs. But it's like something that like punk kids did. So straight edge,
Really?
if you like wanted to still have that cool kind of rocker style and grungy look, but wanted to
Not be a punk.
not be like not actually do those things,
Yeah.
you were straight edge. But like people I've talked to, a lot of them put it on their knuckles, so just a bunch of little X's.
I mean, I feel like that just takes an amazing amount of restraint.
And self-control, 100%. Like I don't know
especially
how
in high school.
Yeah, exactly. But I think a lot of it comes from the fact that like, I think it'd be a lot harder if you had never done those things to restrain, but I think it's the fact that he did them a lot already and he's kind of over it
And
now.
it spooked him.
Exactly, yeah.
It spooked him. And I think he admits, the first admission that he has about like his destructive past was like to Becky, right? Wasn't he like,
Yeah,
oh no, because she catches you trying to, like you owe a debt
but
to
like
Vince.
even like before that though, we were like practicing in like the boiler room, like
Oh,
my
and she's
dungeon.
like, you're tempting me.
And yeah, and she's saying all this, and I basically say like I'm not interested in like having sex with you.
And then, oh no, sorry, it's raining.
Oh no.
I was gonna go sit on the patio. And then he admits, okay, so this is what we learned through Jonah, that here was what I was thinking about Jonah. I was like, okay, we find out that like he was in Narcotics Anonymous or whatever. Then we find out he has a kid. He had like this whole other life. I'm kind of like more interested in seeing like Jonah the
I am
prequel.
too.
Like I wanted to
yeah.
know like what he was doing in like grade 9 and 10.
Like what was so bad?
Bad.
Yeah. What I find interesting is every relationship I've had, the fact that I'm straight edge has been the conflict in the relationship. So
Yeah.
with Becky, that was like the number one thing. It was like, I can't be in this and not have sex. And then we realized, okay, like we can still do other things. Frankie, the reason we broke up was because she tried to have sex with me. And
Really?
and I wasn't into it. And
So-
then things just got so awkward and intense. And then I kind of just realized she wasn't like mature enough. And then she like hacked my passwords and stuff because she wanted to find out. And then with Grace, so much of the awkwardness in the beginning was because she thought that I was trying to have sex with her.
Yeah,
and-
because she was like, I haven't had an orgasm before
Exactly,
I die. I
yeah.
should, get an orgasm.
But he does admit to her though that like he does want to have sex with Grace.
So
and I
why
think he does?
So why did Grace switch it? Like, what about Grace made Jonah be like, you know what? I'm throwing in the celibacy towel.
I think like a lot of it is he just says like he doesn't want to do it with somebody that he doesn't love.
That's so lovely of Jonah.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Are you happy with your end game? OTP.
Grace?
Yeah. Or who do you think it should have been? Who did you see it like Jonah should end or should have ended with?
I guess because Grace is kind of a new relationship because it was only like this season that he started dating Grace. That's why I kind of have trouble seeing that as like his OTP. And I guess because I was with Frankie the longest, I kind of thought that was going to be the one because like they were together like in Degrassi time for like a year, just over a year. I kind of thought that she was the one, but you're right. I think the Grace does make more sense because they're a lot more alike. They have the same mind in a lot of situations. They know each other really well, and they were really good friends. So
And I feel like they've been through stuff.
they have, and like Becky, they dated for a second, right? Like it wasn't long. I guess like Grace, like it makes the most sense for sure. Yeah.
So here's the thing with Frankie, like such a spoiled little rich girl, and you're kind of like, you're like the reformed bad guy. Like, why do those go together? Because it's like,
I guess it's the old saying that like every girl wants the guy that their dad wouldn't let them date.
Is that it?
That's what a lot of people say. Like that's why girls went crazy for James Dean. He's a rebel, right? He's this bad boy. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. He's like this bad boy who smoked and did drugs and that sort of thing. And that's appealing to people because it's what they aren't allowed to do. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of that is kind of why these two girls in particular, Frankie and Becky, who would seem they would not be into somebody like Jonah. Like he's just this kind of like punk, like hood guy, and they were crazy about him. So I think that a lot of that is, again, because they weren't used to it.
And I think what's cool too about Frankie and Jonah is that like Jonah told Frankie the way it was. Like the first time he meets her, he's like, "Why are you crying? Like, get the hell out of here." I'm like, "I'm trying to rehearse."
Yeah.
And then after that, he's like, "I'll give you a chance. Like, you think your life is so complicated. Come help out these like teen addicts."
And she skips.
Proves
him right.
And she's just like, you're addicted to the drama of being miserable.
Yeah.
But you have to give it to Frankie. She's the one who clocked it. She was like, I'm going nuts. Like, I'm a nuts human when I'm dating you. Because she's like breaking into Jonah's social media.
100%.
Nonstop being like, you're doing this, you're doing that. I mean, like, she just needed to figure her junk out.
And like, I think she definitely even knew going into it, like, this could cost her the relationship. And like, I think she definitely needed that because then you see, like, with her relationship with Esme and Zig, she's, between her and Esme, she is like the sane, controlled one who knows how to handle situations better. And I remember reading that in the read through, like, this character has changed, like she has done wrong and has realized it. It's tricky because, I mean, I know from my point of view, I would hate being with somebody like Jonah. I would hate it so much. I like being so ignorant in what I do and just be blissfully wrong all the time. But I'm like trying to make it like, oh, I don't know, like, and that's
you want somebody to be like, you're perfect.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be pampered, and I think it's a weird situation because, yeah, I mean, a lot of people say that they really like somebody who would like stand up for them or stand up to them unless it's something that they're actually really passionate about. I just know personally for myself, if I was like encountered a character like, or a person like Jonah, and he was just always trying to change me and always trying to do things, I would just be like, just love me as I am, man.
Yeah.
Just like, don't, stop trying to change me. And I think I kind of found it not frustrating, but like interesting how that's kind of what Jonah's shtick was always like changing people and always like fixing what their issues were with everything. I remember Stefan saying, season 15, or next class, season 1 and 2, sorry, he was saying to me, I was talking to him saying like, I would love to have like some sort of relapse again, like, or have like some sort of trouble. And he said like, well, yes, but keep in mind there always has got to be like a hero. And I think that like the cool thing about Jonah was he always kind of was like the white horse, like ready to help out everybody.
And like even his relationship with Maya, he was a bit of a hero, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He was taking care of her and trying to like help her realize her dream in New York.
He's
and,
the
like,
voice of reason, yeah.
Totally.
Sure.
I know what it feels like though. The voice of reason sometimes could be a bit frustrating to play because like Marco was always the voice of reason, my character.
Yeah.
And I was just like, ugh, I want him to like, I don't know, get into some trouble, give someone some bad advice, maybe backhand a friend.
I would have loved to do some like cool like stuff in danger, or like to have my own trouble. But I mean like it's obviously like fun to find different ways to like play it and like.
And you're lovable.
Hopefully.
You'll always be lovable. Everyone will be like, oh, that good old Jonah.
Good old hair change in Jonah. 3 different hairstyles.
Yeah, tell me about your hair on the show.
I don't want to talk about it.
I think it's important to open up. And share with us your feelings.
This is natural. Season 14, like my life.
So did you flat iron that thing?
I used to straighten it like before the show anyways.
No judgment, I've been there. My hair was like that and I flat ironed it.
I flat ironed it and I had this like hipster haircut. And then when I auditioned, that's kind of what I had. And they like the season 14 hair, like cool for the character. Then next class, season 1 and 2 started.
What happened with, what is your hair?
Do you have a marker somewhere? Somebody have a marker real quick?
Do you want to draw a photo?
No, right there. No, I don't even need a photo. I just need that Sharpie. I can do it. I don't need a paper. I don't need paper.
Where are you going to draw it? On your straight edge hand?
So season 14, Jonah. We've all talked about this and I need to say it. So look at your thumb. Everybody at home, look at your thumb.
Even here.
Take a Sharpie. Draw a very, very thin line on top of the thumb. So this is where we're at now. You can see it. See that? Okay. Draw a big ol' smile. And you have Jonah. Next class, seasons 1 and 2. Writers, everybody, I love you. Don't know what you were thinking, but it's over now and we can all move on.
Well, no wonder he was celibate. He's a goddamn thumb.
Yeah, he's a goddamn thumb.
Jonah got into university because post-secondary studies is very important.
Yes.
What do you think Jonah will be studying there in the University of Toronto?
I see Jonah taking a very like standard media course and just using that to like branch into whatever he decides, like to be behind the scenes of stuff. I can see him like working on radio, something like that, something in the music and arts. I don't think he's a science head.
No, but he's musical. Maybe do some music.
Yeah. Keeps with the performing with grace, maybe.
Yeah. Is it weird that like did it feel like it all went by so fast? Like, is it weird that it's over?
It went by very, very fast. I remember sitting there in the off season before we started this year, being like knowing this is probably my last season. I think we're all like at that age where we're graduating now, and just thinking like, oh, I got like 3 months of shooting and stuff, and now I have 6 days left of shooting.
Is it really 6 days?
I have 6 days left in this show, and it's gonna be a lot sadder than I'm even feeling right now, because it like again like was my first real production, my first like big thing I've been on, and like I've done other smaller things since, like in between, but like no set like feels homey, you know what I mean? Like this one, like I think to be on like a series of any kind, like you get to know everybody so well, you know, like the crew, you know, everybody behind the scenes and stuff, and that's why I think a lot of it's sad, because you're like leaving all these people that you know.
Yeah, it's like leaving high school.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is there like a fun behind the scenes moment? Something silly.
I guess Ecuador is like a cool behind the scenes moment. So like we went with Free the Children to Ecuador. A very standout moment is when we were all in Ecuador. At some point or another, we were all horribly sick. So for me and Richard, our sickness came on the last night when we are driving back up the mountain into Quito, and the altitude hits us all of a sudden because you're like 4,500.
What does it feel like?
Well, I didn't feel it when we first got there, but the way back, like lightheaded, like I was sick, I was throwing up. Me and Richard were in the back of the bus, and Anna was sitting between us, and Richard was laying on that leg of Anna's, and I was on that one. And she was just like stroking our hair because we were both like so horribly sick and so
cute.
upset.
It's lovely.
So there's just like a lot of stuff like that. Like we're all like,
that's like beautiful bonding.
yeah, exactly. Like we always have each other's backs.
Yeah.
Like I think, which is a cool thing. It's completely valid to say, okay, it sucks.
Oh my god! No, I was worried that was gonna happen.
Oh, sick. Let's finish that shit before we lose it. Eat a Skittle. Keep calm.
Can you explain what just happened?
There was a power outage because outside there's a storm.
Wait, do you think that screwed them up on set? Probably.
Yeah. Okay, so the game. The game is a variation of marry, F, and kill. You know that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marry, fornicate, kill.
That's very correct. Yes. So, what's happening?
What? Is there a fire?
There's a fire.
What?
Oh, where?
Where?
Evacuate the building. It doesn't matter. Can you just come evacuate?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, we're almost done our interview.
Should I take off my mic?
Yeah.
Keep it up. Or
Keep that. Yeah, keep that.
Is this real?
This is like a fire.
Okay, so we're back. There was a fire scare.
A tree was struck by lightning behind the studio.
Yeah, but
Just now.
everyone's okay.
Well,
Except Tristan. He's
almost
still in a
everyone.
coma. Okay.
what is this game?
This game is Prom, Boiler, Slap. Here are the characters that you have. Where's my sheet? Damn it. Everything got screwed because of the fire. Okay. Prom, Boiler, Slap.
Okay.
Becky, Frank, Becky.
So loud, you're blowing out my ears.
Okay, hold on.
Oh.
Okay. Here we go. Prom, Boiler, Slap. Becky, Frankie, Grace.
Oh.
So who do you want to take to prom? Who do you want to get bow, chicka bow bow in the boiler room? And who do you want to just like slap?
Okay. Slap Frankie, 100%.
Poor Frankie.
Take
agree.
Grace to prom and get freaky with Becky in the boiler room.
Interesting. Okay, here we go. Next one. Drew, Zig, Vince.
I don't know Vince.
You owe him a drug debt.
Okay, slap Vince. I need the characters again.
Everyone was like, Vince.
Drew.
Zig and Vince.
All right. Take Zig to prom,
Hot.
bang Drew,
Hot.
and slap Vince.
I mean, boiler room brew. Drew.
Boiler room brew.
Brew Drew. Okay. Give what?
There's actually like toxic smoke.
I can't speak English. Okay, do you have one for me? Anybody in the Degrassi universe?
Okay. Goldie,
Yeah.
Mrs. Hollingsworth, or
Yeah.
Baz? And Baz.
Goldie, Baz, and Mrs. Hollingsworth. I think I want to slap Goldie.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like she'd yell at me for something.
Yeah, she would. She'd get mad at you. Mm-hmm. In the boiler room, seriously?
Okay. Okay. Prom, Baz.
Sure.
Boiler room, Hollingsworth.
Okay.
And can I slap Goldie?
I've done it.
Goldie?
Yeah. You remember that episode?
With that straight edge
Jonah
head of yours?
Slapping straight. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you agree with my choice?
I'd probably take Hollingsworth in the boiler room for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Actually, I 100% agree with your choice.
Thank you. Okay, we're actually losing it. I think that's done. I will be on set on your last day of filming. And I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be sad for you.
Thank you.
But also excited for your
Life.
new chapter
Yeah.
in life.
When I